Pay attention to this picture closely. Some of you might find this picture to be funny, but it's nothing funny about this picture. It's all factual. Just look at it. All white people, sunburned. Now ask yourself, and this is a serious question, can white people survive in Egypt day after day after day under the sunny conditions? Could they have possibly been there? Could they have possibly built the pyramids? This is a serious question. Ask yourself. Now that you've thought about that question, we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of this series. And I just want to make a clarity statement. This is not an effort to attack anybody. I simply want to present the truth. So if you take offense to this video or this series, I don't know what to tell you, because the truth is the truth. So again, this is not an effort to attack any race, any people, or anything of the sort. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to present you with facts and allow you to use your conscious mind to make a decision. See, because there's a missing link to all this. See, we all know what happened in America. They, built America on the backs of black people, segregation, Jim Crow, all the way up to George Floyd. We all know that story, slavery. We all know that story. But the missing link is, what about before then? See, a lot of us we don't even question it. We don't even look at that. We just take the story that's been given to us and we go with that. So my effort today is to present to you the facts about who black people are, our history, our culture, and I'm going to present all facts, all documented. So it is my wish and my prayer that you pay attention, do your research, people. Research for yourself. Anything that I put in this video, research for yourself. Please, go to Google on the computer, type it in. Real simple. Information will pop up, and then you can go from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this down, because if I just do one video, it'll probably be 3 hours long. So I'm going to break this down into about 15, 30-minute increments, and we're going to name it a series, The Missing Link. So this will be The Missing Link Part 1. I hope you enjoy. Peace. Okay, it reads, Kemet means the black land or land of the blacks, depending on who you ask about the interpretations. The people of ancient Kemet were black African people. I'm going to repeat that. The people of ancient Kemet were black African people. This is important to note, because Western society has been silent on Africa and its history. This is important to note because Western society, or America, has been silent on Africa and its history. Egypt is the only country in Africa that has left a historical record in stone. That's why we know so much about the history of ancient Egypt today, but not interior Africa. Black African people ruled Egypt exclusively. Black African people ruled Egypt exclusively until ca. 1650 BCE, before Christ existed. 1,650 years before Christ existed. This is the time when a mixed group of Asiatic people, known as the Hyksos, invaded Egypt. That statement is to recognize this point. Or let me go back here. This is the time when a mixed group of Asiatic people, known as the Hyksos, invaded Egypt. Now, what do you relate Asiatic people to? The 5%ers, who claim to be the original Asiatic black man. I hope this is connecting the dots for a lot of you. But moving on, it says that statement is to recognize this point that Egypt was distinctly black and African for thousands of years. Why is this important to note? Because people of the African diaspora need to recognize that they built the greatest civilization known to exist on the planet. Because people of the African diaspora need to recognize that they built the greatest civilization known to exist on the planet. And the Africans had one of the most profound impacts on civilization the world has never known. In the book Histories, Book 2, Herodotus, who lived from 484 through 425 BCE, stated, "Thoroughly is certain that the natives of the country are black with the heat, and in saying that the dove was black, they indicate that the woman was Egyptian. The Egyptians said they believed that the Colossians were a portion of the army of Sosostris. That it was so, I conjectured myself, not only because they are dark-skinned and have curly hair. Herodotus used the word olatrix for nappy hair." Aristotle, another Greek philosopher between 384 and 322 BCE, stated, "Those who are too black are cowards, like for instance, the Egyptians and the Ethiopians." He used the words Agan Belanes, which is Greek for excessively black. John Francis Champollion, also known as Champollion Lejeune, who was a French scholar, 1790 through 1832, in the Letters et Journaux de Champollion, which I believe means the Letters of Champollion, page 301, he states, "We find there Egyptians and Africans represent in the same way." Egyptians and Africans represent in the same way, which could not be otherwise, and the brilliant mind of the Greeks. Just think that this race of black man, today our slave and the object of our scorn, is the very race to which we owe our arts, sciences, and even the use of speech. I repeat, today our slave and the object of our scorn is the very race to which we owe our arts, sciences, and even the use of speech. Francois Classebouf Voney, between 1957 and 1820. The book is Travels to Syria and Egypt, and the page is 80 through 83. And he states, "What a subject for meditation to see present barbarism and ignorance of the Copts." The Copts being black people, and he's talking about during his time in slavery, the barbarism and the ignorance of the slaves. But then he goes on to say they are the descendants of the alliance between the profound genius of the Egyptians. I'm going to read that again. "What a subject for meditation to see present barbarism and ignorance of the Copts. Descendants of the alliance between the profound genius of the Egyptians. Okay, people, so my goal for this introductory video was to, one, prove to you that African civilization existed way before Christianity, way before Jesus. I wanted to prove that to you. I also wanted to prove to you that the white race or the white man knows our history. So I wanted to prove that African civilization, our ancestors, existed way before Christianity, and also wanted to prove to you that the white man is very knowledgeable of our history, that he's kept from us and he's kept it hidden. In the next video, the Missing Link Part 2, I'm going to discuss a little more on the history of Kemet, and look Kemet up. Go do your research. Go to Google, type in Kemet, and then read what comes up. So I'm going to look a little more at the history, the king lineage. I think there was a total of 76 kings, or 77. We're going to look at that. We're also going to look at the artifacts that were looted out of Africa and how they're in different museums in Great Britain and France. The museums have our artifacts that were taken out of Africa from the Kemet period. So I'm going to show you that. And I'm also going to show you in the next video, I'm going to start to connect the dots, how African spirituality is the foundation for all religions. And when I say all religions, I'm talking about Christianity, I'm talking about Judaism, and I'm talking about Islam specifically. That African spirituality is the foundation or the root for all of that. And I'm going to start to connect the dots for you when I compare African scripture to your common day Bible. And I'm going to prove to you that some of that Bible was stolen, or some of what's in the Bible was stolen from African culture. I'm going to prove that to you. Like I said, everything is factual. I'm giving you the name of the books. I'm giving you the page numbers. You can go do your research for yourself. This will conclude Volume 1, or Part 1 of The Missing Link. And I'll see you guys in a day or two. And leave me a comment. Let me know if this was informative to you, if this helped you, anything that I could do different to make this easier, because that's one of my goals, is try to make this as easy as possible. I think a lot of people get discouraged because they hear big names, Herodotus and things like that, and it's hard to remember, and, so I'm trying to make this as simple as possible. So leave me a comment, let me know how we're doing. Again, this concludes Part 1 of The Missing Link. Part 2 will be coming your way in 24 to 48 hours. Please subscribe to On The Gram TV. I appreciate your support, and we're going to continue to bring you important information that we need to know as a community. Peace.